Hello friends, this is Ganesh and video number 4 on IDOCs. In this session I'm going to explain the concept called custom IDOC design. The last sessions I explained the configuration between two systems with a standard IDOC type, and sometimes depends on the business need we have to design the IDOC from the scratch, and we have an option to extend the standard IDOC also. Sometimes we need to create everything from the scratch, depends on our need, so we have to go with the custom IDOC design. So here I'm going to explain how to do the IDOC design, means custom IDOC design. Let me explain first about how the IDOC got designed from the SAP side, from the product level. Once you understand the design, then it's very simple to replicate the same for our requirement with the help of custom concept, Z or Y. In this session, I'm not going to explain anything about configuration because I'm going to use the existing configuration which I have already used and explained in my previous video. So I don't want to again do it same in this one. Otherwise, if I include the configuration, it will be a very big session. So that is the reason I don't want to do that. I'm going to use the same configuration. Only thing is I'm going to include my custom IDOC, basic IDOC type or message type also in my existing configuration. That's it. And I have added here as a full flow of IDOC. So I'm going to use a custom table in my target system, and I'm going to write a simple code in my target function module. Once the IDOC is triggered from the source, it has to update the table in my target system. Okay, so that is the example which I'm going to take on this session. And about the configuration, here also the SM59 is missed because I'm going to use the same existing configuration design. So target system RFC connection is not enabled because I'm not expecting anything back from the target system. So port and RFC connection is not available in the target configuration. So the same thing, whatever I explained in the last video, the same configuration, I'm going to use it here as well. Okay, so let's get into the slide. And here I'm going to take from the data, and based on the data I'm going to keep my IDOC design ready, and based on that I'm going to do all the steps in the system. Okay, let's get into the slide first. So this is the previous session first slide. We have a source and target, ECC and HANA, and we have all the 9 steps. This is a configuration. We are not going to touch anything over here except few changes I'm going to do it. Other than that, all the logical system, creation, assignment, RFC in my source system, port, partner profile, distribution of your partner profile, everything is already done. Okay, and the same thing over here as for target system, process code, function module, and then map the function module and the process code, generate the partner profile which got received from the source system. Everything is already done. Okay, this is just for your reference, this slide. So the first one, IDOC custom design, I'm going to take some values, and first I'm going to figure out or classify the values. Okay, like very simple classification is very simple. In SAP we have like master data, transaction data, and then maybe a text data, like a short text descriptions. Okay, so first I'm going to classify these things. This is one data, this is my requirement. I have to send this to the target system. Okay, I'm using all standard fields. You just please use it, your custom fields, whatever you're going to create, and your requirement. It doesn't make any big difference if you use standard or custom fields. Okay, and I'm going to use matter type, description, language, plant, storage location, weights, and unrestricted stock value. So this is a maximum I can classify, like master data, transaction data, or text data. Okay, a very maybe high level design. So first I'm going to design these datas based on this classification. So first thing, master data, it could be transaction data. Okay, this is a hierarchy. It could be like this. I have a master data. Obviously, there is a dependency of transaction data as a master data only. So there may be transaction data and one more hierarchy also possible. Okay, so I can have one header data, transaction data, and this act as a master. It has its own transaction data. So it depends on how the data is maintained in SAP. In the same way, you can have n number of hierarchies. That's what I'm going to explain in this design. So you can have one master data and you can have different hierarchy level of your transaction data. And another one, we have one more transaction data. Okay, maybe this is for a plan and storage location, and this is for a text data of your material master. So anything, this data is especially for material master module, module. Okay, so this is very important. Before go to create segments or basic IDOC type message, whatever it is, you have to be very clear about your data, how you're going to design it. So which is master, which is transaction, what level of hierarchy I have to maintain. Once you are very clear about this particular hierarchy and design, then creating an IDOC segment structure, whatever it is, it's very simple. So now, the colors which I'm highlighting here is for your reference. So this blue I'm going to consider as a master data, and this red is going to be an text data, and this is for my transaction data, maybe hierarchy 1, and the hierarchy 2 for transaction data. These two are I'm going to add underneath this. Okay, so I have technically I have 1, 2, 3, 4 segments required. Okay, we call it as segments. So segment may be a master data, transaction data, whatever it is, forget about it. I need 4 different segments. Okay, and we'll decide the hierarchy a little later. So depends on your data and the design the client is expecting, fix or finalize your segments, number of segments, how many segments is required. Okay, segments can have n number of fields. Very technically I can say segment is nothing but a structure. You know about structure in SE11, right? So you have a structure is nothing but collection of fields. So segment is also another name for a structure, but in the IDOC terminology we have saying as a segment. So you can have n number of segments. So it depends on your data, finalize your number of segments is required to carry this particular data from one system to another system. So this is the first step of your design. Okay, finalize your number of segments is required, and inside the segment you can have a number of fields. So for example, master data segment I have 3 fields, transaction data this level I have only 1 field, and another transaction data I have 2 fields, and the text data I have 2 fields. Okay, so technically this is called segments. And a few properties to be referenced or to be keep in your mind while creating a segments. One is mandatory segment. Okay, if you make any of the segment is mandatory as per the design, then you have to give any values, means populate or assign a values to the mandatory segment. It's very simple. Mandatory for an input field means you have to give a value, same thing. So you have an option while creating a segment whether you are able to make the segment as mandatory. Okay, not while creating, maybe while assigning. I will show you. And then minimum and maximum to be used. One of the segment, your segment, how many times it can be used, either only one or you can say more than one. So there are 2 fields, minimum and maximum. Minimum one means at least one time it should be used. Okay, and then maximum is 9999, 4 nines. So this is the range of one particular segment. Okay, mostly for example I'm giving the transaction data as an example, so it may be more than one. Okay, so the same segment can be repeated more again and again. The same thing for master data also. Suppose I'm sending more than one material at the same time, so for in the same IDOC, so maybe more than one material. If that is the case, my master data segment also be repeated. Okay, so depends on the design. Just decide what is the minimum and what is the maximum to be used, to be utilized your segment. So these are the properties of segments. And then segment with fields, whatever I mentioned, same thing I mentioned over here. I just dragged from this names over here. So master data segment has 2, transaction has 1, and this transaction has 2, and this text data has 2. Okay, so this is just for your reference, master and transaction. Maybe you can easily go with segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, segment 4. or you can have some names for your own segments. Okay, transaction to create a segment is WE31. Like people are saying, we have a lot of transaction code involved in IDOC. We have to remember it. Yeah, that's true. But you just divided the configuration and the design if you go with the custom IDOC. Okay, so custom IDOC, if you want to create, you have only 4 transactions. And configuration, maybe you have, I'm not sure, okay, 9 including target system. If you say RFC, probably max to 11 or 12. Okay, not more than that. So once you start working on it, those transactions that automatically comes to your mind is automatically register it. Okay, so it's not a big deal to remember all the IDOC transaction. If you know the flow, that is more than enough. Okay, and yeah, now the steps. So step 1, go to segments W31, create it. Just give a name. What you have to do it inside the transaction is we are going to give a name for a segment and then fields of your segment. Okay, so that is the thing we are going to use. A segment can have a number of fields. A collection of fields is nothing but a segments. You can keep it in your for your reference. So W31 is a transaction for that. Step 2, we are going to create an IDOC type. So there are 2 different names for it: IDOC type or basic IDOC type. Okay, it's depends on how we are frequently using. So both are same, IDOC types or basic IDOC type. And transaction is W30. What actually we are doing in that inside this W30 is we are mapping, just creating a basic IDOC type. Just give a name for it. Okay, everything has a name. Give a name, and we are going to map the segments, whatever we created in this W31, we are going to map it in the W30 transaction only. So here we create just a name of the segment and number of fields. Whatever fields we want, just include it. And in the second step only, we are going to make the hierarchy segment 1 and segment 2, where the segment 2 is a dependent on segment 1 and segment 3 is a dependent on segment 2 and segment 4 is dependent on segment 1. Okay, depends on the design, we have to do it. Those things we are going to make it only in W30. And mandatory, make a segment as a mandatory, that is also in W30. Min and max to be utilized, how many times your segment can be utilized, so that is also going to be in W30. Most of the properties of segments are decided or set in W30 only, so not in W31. Okay, and yeah, a reference for, okay, basic IDOC type, because normally if in the initial time you have a confusion about the basic IDOC type and the message type. Okay, so for that there is an example. So matmas 05, whatever you call, that is called basic IDOC type. Okay, this is just for your reference. And where the segments are mapped, those are nothing but basic IDOC type. So we have done 2 steps. And now third step is create a message type. Very simple. Go to the transaction, give a name, save it. Nothing much. Okay. And it has one more value. I will show you whenever you enter the system. So reference is matmas. So this is called message type. Okay. In the hierarchy, you can keep message type as a bigger one, step hierarchy level 1. Under message type, you have a basic types. Okay. One message type can have n number of basic types. I might have given an introduction about these 2 in my first video, not sure. The relation between message type and IDOC type is 1:n. One message type can have n number of IDOC types. So what is n number of IDOC types? Normally the versions they're talking about matmas 01, 02, 03, 04, 05. So they keep on increase the versions. Okay, updated versions. So all the versions or of message IDOC types are coming under one message type. Okay, so message type is 1:n your basic IDOC type. And is the final step, just map it. Map your IDOC type and your message type. It's also very simple. Just go to the transaction, enter the message type, enter the basic IDOC type, and there is a column called release number. Preferably, release number value is nothing but your current version of your SAP basis component. If you go to the system status, just check what is the version number. It's actually used for the future reference. You can give any number, but that doesn't make any sense. So better go and find what is the current version of your basis component and give the same. it will be easy for the next developer. Okay, and these are the 4 steps in custom IDOC. Nothing much. W31 segments creation and fields, 30 basic IDOC types and map your segments along with the segments properties, enable some properties of your segments, and create a message type and map your basic and message type in W82. Okay, so we are done. So design of the custom IDOC is done. This design must be in source and target. Exactly, because if you're sending a material, sorry, if you're sending a data from a source, target also, I'm talking about two SAP system. Target also has the same kind of structure, same kind of hierarchy also. Okay, so segment 1, 2, 3 is the dependent of hierarchy 1. The same way the structure, segments, everything to be generated in your target system also. So these 4 steps to be repeated in your target system also. Okay, otherwise its target system is ready to receive your values because it has a configuration. It should receive the values. IDOC is also reached to target system but with an error saying that this segment is not available, that segment is not available. So kind of informations you will get it. Okay. And what else? Okay, this is my previous video design. So the source system, this is the IDOC configuration which I made. There is a DB and is it custom triggering program. It generates an IDOC and through an RFC, and I have a port. This is my source system and the partner profile. So with the help of this configuration, the data is sent out of my source system. Okay, so now we are going to do the same configuration. Along with that, I'm going to be using a custom IDOC design. So probably here I used MatMask. Here I'm going to use ZRY custom design structure or IDOC message type and then basic IDOC type. Okay, so that is the only change in the source system. Same thing for your target system also. Target system, I have partner profile. It has a process code. It has a function module. It will reach the data to be in your database table. Okay, and there is no RFC in my target system for this scenario. Here also I need to have the same custom IDOC design. I'm going to use it with the same naming conventions. Then it automatically recognized what is this and what kind of message type was here and what are the fields, what are the values to be added. So everything recognized and automatically with the help of the process code and function module coding, it will update the data in my target system. Okay, so this is the entire flow of your custom IDOC. So only 4 steps we are going to add in the compared to the existing configuration. So nothing much. Clear? Anything else? No. Okay, that's it. Let me take you into the system. So this is my system, and the green color indicates I'm an ECC, and the normal blue is for S4HANA. Okay, let me do the design of IDOC in ACC system. Start with segments and adding a fields on it, then create a basic IDOC type, and along with that include the segments into the basic IDOC type along with the properties of the segments, and finally create a message type and map it with the basic IDOC type. One prerequisite is whatever segment name you're going to create, make sure the same name is not assigned to any other existing structure, because for example some common names if we used like Z header, Z plant, the same name might be used by some other developer or some testing purpose also in that particular client. The structure is already available in AC11, because whenever you create a segment, automatically the same name is going to be used for the new structure as well. So that is a connectivity between a segment and structure. I will show you once I create my segment. So before creating it in both systems, because once you design everything and at the end you just come to know there is a structure, I'm not able to create one of the segment in either of the system, then again you have to start everything from the scratch. So mostly it won't, because we have a standard naming convention for our projects, for the module and everything. But still make sure you don't have any the segment name is available as a structure as well. Okay, because there are possibilities. There is some such structure, it is not relevant for IDOC. So once you create the IDOC, you will get an error saying that this structure is already available. Okay, So first we'll go to create a segment, WE31, and segment is CGI header. Click create, give a name and then click create button. Assign name is longer than 7 characters. There is some restriction, but still it's a information only. I'm just continuing it. But preferable is go with the standard size of your segment type. Short description, header fields, and field name is Matner. And this is one of the reason I go with standard, because I have the standard data element is available. Otherwise, normally we have to create a Z data element and then use the same over here. MTART. So person responsible, and I have to save it in a package or a local object. So I'm done with my segment creation. Now, if you go to SE11 by copying the segment name, go to SE11, and I'm an ACC system, copy this and F7. So it got created. Okay, so once you save your segment, automatically it creates the structure as well. So let me continue the creation for other segments. One is header, another one is plant, create, plant fields and works, relevant data element name. Then I go with plant name. Here I prefer the text of 40 character. Save it. Okay. Okay. And another one, I'm going to excuse me, save it. Yep. Just go back to create the other segment. Storage location, strloc, storage location, and create. Fine. Storage location. Here LGORT, and then this is LGORT-D. So here the basic scenario of this particular session is I will show you the target table, so then it will be easy for you to understand the entire scenario. It's not here. Okay, CGI receive, no, mat plant, I believe. Yeah, this is the one. So the idea of the scenario is I'm going to fill this internal this database table. This is a target system through an IDOC. So from the source, I'm going to create a custom IDOC structure, like segments, basic type, and message type, and do the same in target as well. So I'm going to send this information from source, and after receiving the target system, I'm going to update this database table. So this is the entire scenario, okay, on this custom IDOC. So probably this is the basic scenario everywhere we are using, and otherwise maybe we can add it in your database table through a BAPI. Okay, so at the end we have to update the IDOC data to a database table. Lot of ways we are doing it. I'm just choosing the custom one because I don't want to again include the BAPI. That will take more time of this particular video. Okay. So for this, I'm creating a structure in the source system. So almost I'm done. All the fields are covered over here. And first step is over. Segment creation is done along with the fields. And next one is W30. Create a basic IDOC type and assign your segment. So basic IDOC type is ZGI basic type B type. Sorry, it should be B type. So name of my basic IDOC type, and click create, and this option is selected by basic by default. So everywhere I'm missing this standard one, so please ignore it. Continue, and I'm going to create the new one. I'm not going to copy from any existing object. And the description, basic IDOC type for custom material details. Excuse me. I'm done, and then save it. Keep the cursor here and use this option to include your segment. Create segment and give the segment name whatever we have created so far, one by one. So material is my header. So I'm going to select the property of the segment is mandatory, and the minimum and maximum I prefer 1 and 1 only for the segment. Continue. And segment editor is nothing but CGI material does not exist. Okay, once again, do I miss anything? CGI header, that's right. W31 is there. Oh, sorry. I given a wrong segment name. Okay, CGA header, not material. Okay, CGA header and mandatory minimum and maximum is 1 on 1. And if you want to prefer to go to and see the fields of your segment, yes, you are able to do it. And one more option is you are able to edit as well. Sorry. And use this option to edit. If you want to add some more fields, delete some more fields, adjust some so length of your field, everything you can able to do in W30 also. Just go back and okay, it takes me here. Okay, and continue. That's it. So one segment is added, and the next one, I'm going to keep the cursor in this segment because I want to create a child for this segment. If you prefer, you want to add in the same hierarchy, keep the cursor from your top level. This is the first level of your basic IDOC type, and this is the second level, right? Keep the cursor here and click create, and there is an option for the second segment onwards. If you want to create as a child or the same level, if you want to create the same level or if you want to create as a child also, I'm going with the child option. And what is the name? So here is plant. It's not a mandatory. I'm saying minimum number is 111, maximum 100. So maximum you can give 9999. So kind of, okay. So continue. So this is a segment, and I want to go one more further down hierarchy level. So let me go the same option, same child, and here CJI storage location, strloc. Okay, and this is a one, and mostly we use this option in 999, and continue. Okay, that is a spelling mistake. Yes, done. Okay, so if you want, you can have the same level of segments also. So this doesn't make any big difference. This is exactly for your design, how the business wants to send the data. Okay, automatically the program will take care of it, how to add the data into the particular segments. Clear? And need to create a message type and assign this basic type to that. So go to WE81. Okay, let me save this. Done. So W81, create a message type. It's very simple, just the name and description, nothing much. Go to new entries, CGI message type, M type. So that is B, this is M. That is basic IDOC type, this is message type. Custom message type. Save it. Okay, we are done. And go to the another transaction called WE82 to map the message and basic IDOC type along with the release. Change cross client, okay, and click new entries. Message type is CJI underscore M type. Basic type is CJI underscore B type. And the release can be any number like 100, whatever if you want you can give. But the preferable is go to system status and get the SAP basis component release number. Depends on your system and release. You'll get that number like 700, 740 kind of. So this is 740, and give the same name or same number in the release. This is for the future reference. Okay, save it. Done. Now go back, the mapping is done, message type, basic type and release number. Go back, and for your reference you just check the release column. They mentioned 620 when this mapping happened. Okay, sometimes you might figure out 4.7 version also See 4.6c, this mapping has been done, and this is done on 4.7 version. So this is going to be a future reference, probably for the other developer who is going to refer your same IDOC type. So better go with the system component status as a release number here. So this is the basic design which we have already completed for the IDOC. The next one is I'm going to use the existing configuration for the data travel between source and target system from ECC to HANA. And in that, I want to make a small adjustment, like maybe a one line of insertion in my partner profile, because my logical system is same, RFC is working good, and I have a port and I have a partner profile. So in the partner profile, I already mentioned carry matmas data from source to target. In the same place, I'm going to include kindly carry if any data is coming from my custom message type also. Okay, so that is the only thing I'm going to include in my source partner profile. Okay, nothing much in the existing configuration. So now let's goes to W20 for partner profile. And you should aware of the partner profile name. Probably if you watched my previous video, you might aware of it. That is nothing but start with I, like I created a two logical system, I ECC 800 and I HANA 800. This is a logical system name. I use the same thing as a partner profile name also. So here I have to figure it out, where is my I HANA 800 is the partner's name. Open the logical system details and come to I HANA 800. This is my partner profile. So existing one is matmas, and the synchronous is also already available once you're done with your partner profile generation. And I'm going to add one more here. It's an outbound from my ECC. It's an outbound parameter. And here you have to give what is the message type. So message type is ZJI M type, and the basic IDOC type as CJI P type. Okay, normally it's matmas here and matmas 01, 02, 03 and everything. And this is the two things, and port and one before that, yeah, transfer IDOC immediately. So you have to know what is the port. I'll open the partner profile again in the separate session because I should know what is the port I have given in my existing matmos IDOC type. Go here and double click. So the port is same. It depends on your design and need, whether you can use the same receiver port, or if you feel, or as per your client design, it should be a new port, just create a new one. But RFC is same if the source and target is same system. And go here and enter the values, receiver port like that. That's it, and save it. Saved it, go back. Now the outbound parameter has two things. One is matmas and another one is my custom IDOC message type also. Almost done, and only one part is missing in source system is I need to create a program and write a code to push the IDOC along with the data, whatever segment fields I have created. I need to pass the data and push the IDOC from my source system. Now I'll give a pass for that particular last step. Now I'm going to do the same thing in my target system, because the design should be same in source and target. While sending an IDOC, it should recognize, okay, these are the IDOC type, message types also available in the target system. Then only your IDOC will process. It will reach your target system, no issues, because the lane is very clear, configuration is done, RFC is able to reach your target system. IDOC will reach, but it won't process it. Okay, so for that we need the same design to be available in target system also. So I'm going to create the same step, probably a little faster I will do it. I don't want to waste much time on here. So go to target system and start from the blue one, right? Yeah, start from the first one, segment creation, WE31, and segment type as header, J header, create, okay, CGA header, and here I want Matner, MTART, here Matner. Okay, one more point, you might aware of it, otherwise the new one for you. Matner has got increased by 40 in S4 HANA product. If you compare ECC, you have only what is that, 18, character 18. But if you compare in S4HANA, they increase the size to 40. So this will give an issue probably once you start creating an IDOC and send it. There is a mismatch. The structure should be same. So that is the reason normally what I prefer is I go with character 18. I want to match the length between both source and target structures, and in real time you have to create a custom data element. That is the way we have to do it instead of using the standard one. Okay, so just create a custom one if you use HANA and ECC and HANA, or different data element sizes if you used. It's very rare, but this is one of the field where SAP got increased from 18 to 40 in S4HANA is material number. Okay, so just you have to do it just for your information and save it. Local object. I'm done with one segment and I have to do the other one. Land, create. Okay, land, ignore my spellings. Data element is this, and plant name, data element is text 40. Okay, I'm done. And then go for the last segment, storage location created, and storage location as LGORT and LGORTD. Save it. That's it. Okay. So we are done with the first step. Second step is go to create a basic type and assign your segments. The same basic type I'm going to prefer here, B type, and create it. I'm going to do the same like basic IDOC type. I'm going to create from scratch and assign with some segments, all the segments. So CGI header is the first one, and it's mandatory here, 1 and 1. I'm preferring the same properties. And here create, yes, I want to create as a child. It is plant, optional, 100, continue, and one more hierarchy, child, storage location 1 and 9999, continue. Okay, so I'm done with basic IDOC type and assign segments. Then create message type 81. Okay, I'm in HANA system, so CJI m type, this is message type. Save it. Done. And final step is map, W82, map your message type and basic IDOC type along with the release. So CGI M type and CGI B type. Okay, so here I know the version, it's 740. That's it. So we are almost done. One more additional step, same like source, we need to include the new message type in my partner profile also. So W20 here now just find the partner profile. Now I'm in a HANA system, so I need to find a partner profile is nothing but IECC 800. This is my source partner system, and here I have to mention in inbound informations. Okay, before this, okay, let me go inside and I'll tell you. Process code, you might aware of it. There is a 4 transaction to be involved in the target system to create a function module to receive the IDOC data and what needs to be done. Write the code to update your database table, and you need a process code. And before process code, you need to map your function module with, you had to register your function module, and you have to map the function module with your basic and message type, message IDOC type. So those steps also to be done before come to your partner profile in a target system. Okay, because we need a process code for that. I have created the function module. I'll show you the function module first. C37. I just created a function module, receive custom IDOC function module, and it's empty currently, but with the minimum parameters, required parameters to receive the IDOC. So these are the required parameters I have done. And I have to create the, I think this is already registered with BD54. One second. Sorry, it's BD51 and included the basic and message, custom message type with WE57 also with the function module. So those are the same steps which we followed in the last video. So now I'm going to create a process code. So WE42 and create a process code, new entries. So the process code is ZGI custom code, custom C code. Okay, kind of. And click processing by function module, save it, and go to this page. It will automatically just take to the page once you save. And the function module I have shown you is JI receive custom IDOC. Okay, so this will reflect only if you're done with BD51 and WE57. Okay, select it and save it. We are done. Now we have the process code. Now copy the process code, go to your partner profile, target system partner profile, and give that one over here. And the message type is ZJIM type. Okay, trigger immediately and everything is fine, and save it. Data was saved. So now the systems are ready to receive and to send and receive the data with the help of a methodology called IDOC, intermediate document. Okay, so now two things pending. In source, write a code to push the data. In target, write a code to receive the data. Simple. Okay, let me go to my source first, write the code. So this is also a little simple, so I just go a little faster. So it's very easy to follow that, and you can just recreate or redesign, depends on your requirement. So CGI custom IDOC, executable, save it. So I need some basic declarations. I need some segment 1. I prefer the name segment 1, segment 2 kind of. And for header, and I need segment 2 for plant, and I need segment 3 for storage location. So it's already created as a structure, so we can make use of it. And I need a data for IDOC, means internal table. So this is normally referred to EDIDD data. And I need for communication, this is actually an internal mandatory internal table, so I have to make it, but we don't add any values over here. So EDIDC communication, and I need one more work area for my IDOC, WA IDOC type EDIDD. That's it. Then enter the values, append your internal table, call the function module, and push it. Segment 1 material, so I just goes ECC1 and segment 1 material type is raw. Okay, almost we are done, and we need to write the code for IDOC segment name as ZJI header. Okay, and data is going to be yes data field, and that is nothing but your segment 1 work area. Almost done for segment 1, and sorry, IDOC to your internal table. Clear IDOC. So very simple code. So you can use your new syntax, whatever you want, you can do it. Just I'm concentrating to push the data from my source, nothing much. So here it's segment 2. Segment 2, I have a plant and plant name. WRKS as 1000, maybe 1001, and plant name is going to be what? Plant A. And this is going to be plant. This is segment 2. Okay. And segment 3 we have only one field. It's LGORT. And this is segment 3. This is going to be storage LOC2. Okay. This is going to be the segment name, storage location, and segment 3. Okay, we are almost done. Okay, we need one more IDOC control, right? So that I mastered. We need one more work area for IDOC control, that is EDI DC, EDI DC only. And here very minimal and required details I'm adding in the control data. Normally in real time we are adding few more, so depends on the need, you can do it. And the IDOC, so IDOC control, the basic one is IDOC type, basic IDOC type. My basic IDOC type is ZJB type, and message type. IDOC control MES type, message type is ZJI M type, and your partner type is logical system. Receiver partner type, PRT is my logical system. And the final one is IDOC control receiver partner number or name, whatever it is. It is HANA 800. Okay, this is basic. Normally we add furthermore, so just take care of that if it is required. And final one, call the function module to push the data. Master IDOC distribute. So we are good, and we have all the informations available, loaded actually. And here I have to use my communication internal table, and this is my IDOC. Activated, the object activated and executed. Done. I don't have any write statement, so nothing is coming as an output. So I have to go and check in my transaction only, W02. So and execute it. And here this is only one message type. So if you execute little back, normally in real time, you might have different message types and figure it out which is yours. And these are the IDOCs. It's already generated. These are for tested, so just ignore it. And this is the final one, recent one, which I have generated it. Execute, and you might have seen the data as ECC1. Yes. And as I mentioned, this is not processed because this system doesn't configure to process the IDOC immediately. Again, it's a rental and test system. Probably you might face the same in Sandbox as well. So what I had to do was I go to use the tool W14. This is a tool where you can process the IDOC which is ready to process. Okay, only that IDOC you're able to do it. Yes, it's done. Now if you go to W02 and see the status of your recent IDOC, and it should be green. Yes, it's green. Okay, so now the IDOC has been released or sent from source system, and definitely it reached the target, but with an error because my function module doesn't have any code. So let's go to my target system. Yeah, this is the target system. Oh, okay, this is the target system, and go to W02, execute it. Yep. So just consider the latest one. So here also you have only one, and if you change the date, you probably get multiple. Yes, so here this is the one, and this is error with 51. I think the same error we have seen in the last video as well. Application is like no record state was passed by to ALE by the application. So now we're going to write the code in the function module. to receive the data from this IDOC and update it to my database table. Here, okay, open this session for my function module, and few things to be declared here as well. Probably the same thing. Data, just give any name if you want. Type CGI header, because we need to receive the data, right? So segment 2 I need to receive, so I need plant, and segment 3 I need to go with storage location, CGI strloc. Okay, and I need something for the table update, so table type CGI receive custom IDOC is the one, and I need an internal table, like because I'm going to update bulk. So if you want one by one, just no work area is fine. It's depends on your need. CGI like, receive custom IDOC. Okay, so now I'm going to get the data from IDOC data. It's going to be a loop because it will get all the data one by one. So IDOC data into work area, just on the flow declare your work area for your IDOC data, and that is a if condition, because every data has its own segment. If it is a segment, then I'm going to get those informations. So if the segment name is CGI header, okay, then receive the information W segment equal to WA IDOC S data. Okay, so else if home, else if it is a plant, and receive the data to different work area, and it's a storage location. Depends on the structure, we are determining which work area to be assigned. Segment is data IDOC, and final one is you go with else if or else, it's fine. Segment 3 and go with else if. Okay, almost we are done, and this needs to be carried forward to my work area, then append it. Okay, so what I had to do was, so from here I need you can directly pass also, it's fine. Table. Okay, I think I did the same mistake once again. This is actually mat plant, because receive custom IDOC is a function module name. Okay, that is the reason it's not showing any field here. Now, yes. So Matner is from segment 1, and segment 1 MATNR. So you have to get it from the segment 1. So because all the data is storing here, and I need material type as well. Table MTART is from segment 1 MTART. So the same field I maintain, so it's easy for me over here. WS is from segment 2 works, and plan name is also from the same segment 2. Okay, whenever there is no field is coming, so there is some mistake which I have did, mostly with a typo or spelling. It's coming now. Okay, almost we are done. And final one is table for storage location, LGORT, and segment 3 LGORT. Okay, if all done, so what I had to do was, so this is, as per my knowledge, this is going to be only it has 3 records, but it's going to be filled everything only one time. So I'm keeping my append statement after the loop. So if you want, you can keep before as well. It depends on how you design your way of getting the code. So get ID table. Got it. Almost done. You can use insert or modify statement to update your custom table. So, and here I'll go with modify. Okay, it depends on how you're going to update. Mat from table IT table. So if sub as equal to 0, and do the commit work. Okay, it's almost done. And final one is, I'm just clearing the control data. So if you want, you can add whatever status you want. So it's up to you how you want to do it. So here I'm saying IDOC CTRL, right? What is the control data here? Yes, CY and TRL. So the here, yes. Okay. So system will recognize or determine which status to be added. If you want to use no, I want 53, I want 52, whatever it is, just use a loop and change it in your IDOC control. Almost done. Hope this should work. So what I can do is I go to ECC and push one more IDOC with the same material, because it's not added in my database table. It's done. W02 execute. Okay, here it is. W14. Done. It should be green. That's fine. I'll go to my target system and there's a refresh and go to M type. Yep, it's an yellow and it's 64, so it's good. Let me go to SC11 or SC16, and ECC1 is the material which I sent. ECC1 execute. Yes, it has been added. So I'll just quickly run through one more IDOC data just for your reference. By changing the material name, it's ECC2 activated, and before that go here, I'm saying ECC1 and ECC2 execute. Okay, only one is available. Let's push the IDOC, executed it, and W02 W14 execute. Done. Now go to your table and refresh. It has been added. Okay, so this is a way where you can send and receive the IDOC. Probably you might get a chance to create only in the source side. Your target may be a non-SAP system, or you receive an IDOC from a non-SAP system through a PI proxy, whatever it is. Finally, it should reach a function module and write the code and update your target system. So either way, this code or this design, I can say, not code, this design will work. So use the design and for your requirement and add your own code, whatever is required. Okay, so hope this video might be useful for you, especially to design a custom IDOC scenarios, and play around with this. If you have any doubt, please let me know. Thank you so much for your time. See you in the next video. Bye.